friends, this is Julie signing in again from Realty Master, a byproduct of Sam Joyce Realty Private Limited. This will be exciting facts about the Indian real estate, and we will see a small introduction about the Indian real estate and what it is all about. Introduction and outlook. Abolition of the zamindari system. After independence, India did get a lot more reforms to do by giving high degree of importance to the housing sector. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru stated that every one of his countrymen should have a two-roomed house. Since segments in the Indian real estate sector, the old zamindari system till launch of India's first real estate investment trust, which is the REIT, in 2019, the Indian real estate sector has traveled a long way in prosperity. It has seen several changes, witnessing the growth quite eventful for the Indian property market. While the old archaic laws and practices are rooted out, the new Enax RERA and Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code was replaced for the healthier economy to safeguard the home buyers and investors. Segments in the Indian real estate sector. The real estate sector is the most second global recognized sectors. Real estate sector comprises of four subsectors. Housing. The growth in the residential real estate market in India has been largely driven by rising disposable incomes, a rapidly growing middle class, low rate interest, fiscal incentives on both interest and principal payments for housing loans, heightened customer expectations, as well as increase the urbanization and growing number of nuclear families. Retail. The organized retail segment in India is expected to grow at a rate of 25% to 30% over the next 5 fiscal years. The growth of organized retail is expected to be driven by demographic factors, increasing disposable incomes, changes in shopping habits, the entry of international retailers into the market, and the growing number of retail malls. The major organized retailers in India currently include Tata Trent, Pantaloon, Shoppers Stop, and RPG Group. Hospitality. The hotel industry in India has grown as a result of a growing economy, increased business travel, and tourism. Further investments in the premium segment of the hotel industry are expected to be between rupees 20 billion to 23 billion over the next 5 years. Commercial. The recent growth of the commercial real estate sector in India has fueled by increased revenues of companies in services business, particularly in the IT and ITE sectors. Industry sources expect the IT and ITE sectors to continue to grow and generate additional employment, which they expect will result in increased demand for commercial space. SEZs. SEZs are specifically delineated duty-free enclaves deemed to be foreign territories for purposes of Indian custom controls, duties, and tariffs. There are three main types of SEZs. Integrated SEZs, which may consist of a number of industries services. SEZs, which may operate across the range of defined services. And sector-specific SEZs, which focus on one particular industry line. Infrastructure. Development projects, central and state government in India are increasingly focused on infrastructure development. Key areas of infrastructure development include transport, power, telecommunication, ports, pipelines, sanitation, water supply, and irrigation. Growing satellite business destinations with commercial space in the CBDs and the SPDs in the metros getting saturated, the surrounding non metro areas are getting investor attentions. In northern part of the country, the business activities of Delhi NCR are getting extended to the adjoining areas. Similarly, in southern India, the adjoining areas of Bangalore, like Hosur district of Tamil Nadu, have provided space for the extension of the industrial areas. However, the Mumbai and Chennai, by virtue of its geographical conditions of being surrounded by the sea, face constraint in terms of expansion. Growth. The growth of this sector is well complemented by the growth of the corporate environment and demand for the office space, as well as urban and semi urban accommodations. The construction industry ranks third among the 14th major sectors in terms of direct, indirect, and induced effects in all sectors of economy. Non-residential Indian investment. It is also expected that this sector will incur more non-resident Indian NRI investments in both short-term and the long-term. Bangalore is expected to be the most favored property investment destination for NRIs, followed by Ahmedabad, Pune, Chennai, Goa, Delhi, and Dehradun. Urbanization. Besides, with rapid urbanization, need for housing is imminent. So the real estate sector in India has a huge scope in future. Real estate industry could be different and bring new reforms in the housing sector. With smart architecture and investment, we can achieve greater heights in infrastructure based development. Indian real estate sector milestones. The Indian real estate milestones. After we completed 7 decades of independence, some milestones in the path with which we never forget in our mind. Socio-economic movement, the economy of the country fully based on the initiatives and policies taken and drafted by healthy government. In spite of government healthier policies, some of the facts like market conditions, geographical events, and socio-economic changes in population will play a major role. Enactment of regulation authorities. In this way, government has enacted the Urban Land and Ceiling Act in 1976 to curb these speculative hikes in land prices in urban areas. By the way of RERA, it was introduced in 2017. The enactment of financial institutions in decentralizing the property market, government has enacted some of the financial institutions such as Housing and Urban Development Company in 1970, Industrial Development Corporation in 1971, and Mumbai Metropolitan Region Development Authority in 1994 to strengthen the residential sector in real estate. Strategic policies for price rise. The strategic initiatives taken by the government induces the 1994 to 1999 phase to see the remarkable rise in the prices for the first time in the Indian property market through NRI and foreign capital. The Y2K bug. Thanks to the global economy to oversee the Indian property market on Y2K bug, which is another turning point for the Indian economy on account of software development. This led to the absorption of commercial space in the real estate sector. Foreign direct investment, the FDI, in real estate was first allowed in the year 2005, which opened up newer ways of funding and led to the maturing of the industry in terms of business practices and product offerings. The collapse of Lehman 2008, the economic slowdown in 2008, in fact, inadvertent effect in Indian real estate market, which led to the buyback of stakes from the Indian market by the FDI investors. Implementation of RERA 2017. In order to further streamline the process in Indian real estate sector, which has seen many major hiccups which related to unrealistic price rise, the government has formed the regulatory authority in order to protect the buyers with some conditions on the developers from highly fragmented residential real estate sector. Implementation of the REIT. The implementation of the REIT will allow small ticket investments in commercial real estate of the country. Indian real estate market. The market size. Current status. The current real estate market is calculated as about 12,000 crores, which is about 1.72 billion US dollars in 2019. Future growth by 2040, the real estate market to grow to rupees 65,000 crores, which is 9.30 billion US dollars. Real estate sector in India is expected to reach a market size of about 1 trillion by 2030 from US dollars 120 billion in 2017, and the immense contribution is about 30% from the country's GDP by 2025. Other sectors in real estate, retail, hospitality, and commercial real estate are also growing significantly, providing the much needed infrastructure for India's growing needs. Indian real estate increased by 19.5%, which is CAGR, from 2017 to 2028. The pan-India retail estate stock in India is about 100 million square feet. About 70% of this is in 7 cities, which are Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and Pune. Most of this space was added over the last decade between 2006 to 2011. 3,500 supermarkets, 260 hypermarkets, 20,000 specialty stores, and 28 cash and carries have come up in India. Contribution of technology in real estate. Sectors such as IT and IT's retail, consulting, and e-commerce have registered high demand for office space in the recent times. Commercial office stock in India is expected to cross 600 million square feet, while the office space leasing in the top 8 cities is expected to cross 100 million square feet during 2018 to 2020. Co-working space, co-working cultures across top 7 cities increased to reach 12 square feet by the end of 2019, and in first 9 months of 2019, the office sector demand with commercial leasing activity reached 47 minimum square feet. During 2019, the office leasing reached 60.6 million square feet across 8 major cities, registering a growth of 27% year on year. In 2019, Bangalore saw the highest volume of office space leased at 15.3 minimum square feet, followed by Hyderabad at 12.8 minimum square feet. Our Indian real estate is not an autonomous growth in our economy. There is some factors which has major influence on the Indian real estate in terms of growth. Investment and developments. The developments in the Indian real estate sector has witnessed high growth in recent times, with the rise in demand for office as well as residential spaces, private equity and venture capital investments in the sector, which have reached about 1.47 billion US dollars. Investment by financial institutional investments in real estate are expected to reach about 5.5 billion US dollars for 2018, and the highest in a decade between 2009 to 2018 in real estate sector. It attracted institutional investments worth 30 billion US dollars and received about 2.3 billion US dollars in the first half of 2019. Real estate attracted around 43,780 crores, which is 6.26 billion US dollars of investment in 2019. The FDI attraction, according to data released by the Department for the Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade Policy, the DPIIT, construction is the fourth largest sector in the terms of the FDI inflows. FDI in the sector of in this sector includes construction, development, and construction activities stood at about 41.53 billion US dollars from April 2000 to December 2019. Crisis faced by this sector is demonetization, RERA, GST, and the advantages is there is no doubt that the real estate sector of the country has seen a lot of developments in a short span, while the demonetization is on the ground. Real Estate Regulation and Development Act, which was laid on 2016, the RERA, the Goods and Service Tax, the GST, has added flavor to the sector and showed a complete transparency over the buyers. It has not only ensured transparency, efficiency, and promotional growth of buyers' confidence, it helps in creating the clear image on real estate industry. The real estate sector, after encounter the initial turbulence from demonetization, will serve a tremendous opportunity for the investors and the benefit of Indian economy. The disadvantages and are the demonetization was expected to impact primary market sales and had a large impact on the secondary market transactions, the luxury segments, and land deals. Liquidity. The immediate impact will be on the liquidity. Businesses dealing with a large amount of cash can no longer use the currency to drive business. The buyers were burdened with additional capital expenditure in the name of GST. Government initiatives. The government of India, along with the governments of respective states, had taken several initiatives to encourage the development in the sector. The Smart City project, where there is a plan to build 100 smart cities, is a prime opportunity for the real estate companies. Below are some of the major government initiatives. Cabinet approvals in order to revive around 1,600 stalled housing projects across the top cities in the country. The Union Cabinet has approved the setting up of rupees 25,000 crores, which is 3.58 billion US dollars, alternative investment funds, which is the AIF. Blackstone crosses 12 billion US dollars investment in milestones in India. The Purvankala Limited, a realty firm, plans to invest around 850 crores, which is 121.6 million US dollars over the next 4 years to develop three ultra luxury residential projects in Bangalore, Chennai, and Mumbai. Under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban PMAYU, 1.12 crore houses have been approved, sanctioned in urban areas, creating about 1.20 crores jobs. Government has created an affordable housing fund, which is the AHF in the National Housing Bank NHB, with an initial corpus of rupees 10,000 crores, which is about 1.43 billion US dollars, using proximity sector lending shortfall of banks, financial institutions for microfinancing of HDFCs. As of September 16, 2019, India has formally approved 419 SEZs, of which 2,234 were in operation. In February 2018, creation of National Urban Housing Fund was approved with an outlay of rupees 60,000 crores. It's about 9.27 billion US dollars, and we have the road ahead. The Securities and Exchange Board of India (SEBI) has given its approval for the Real Estate Investment Trust (REIT) platform, which will help in allowing all kinds of investors to invest in the Indian real estate market. It would create an opportunity worth rupees 1.25 trillion, which is 19.65 billion US dollars in the Indian market over the years. Globalization. responding to an increasing well-informed consumer base and bearing in mind the aspect of Indian globalization, the Indian real estate developments have shifted gears and accepted fresh challenges. The most common marked change has been the shift from family owned businesses to that of professionally managed ones. The real estate developers, in meeting the growing needs for the managing multiple projects across cities, are investing in centralized processes to source material and organize manpower and hiring qualified professionals in areas like project management, architecture, and engineering. Global impact. COVID-19 has an impact on the world economy in a devastating way. Estimates suggest a 3% to 5% fall in the world GDP for the current year. Developed countries have been able to undertake various fiscal and monetary stimuli to keep their economies afloat. This will cushion the economic impact for most of them. Developing countries, including India, have been restrained in spending much. Thus, the economic repercussions are far higher for such countries. Foreign direct investment in real estate. The Department of Indian Policy and Promotion, the DIPP-wide Press Note number 2 2005, permitted FDI up to 100% under atomic route in townships, housing, built up infrastructure and construction development projects, which would include but not be restricted to housing, commercial premises, hotels, resorts, hospitals, educational institutions, recreational facilities, city and regional level infrastructure facilities such as roads and bridges and transit systems, etc. Subject to the following guidelines. In case of development of serviced housing plots, a minimum land area of 10 hectares. In case of construction development projects, a minimum built-up area of 50,000 square meters. In case of combination of the above two projects, any one of the above two conditions would suffice. However, the investor may be permitted to exit earlier with prior approval of the government through the Foreign Investment Promotion Board, which is the FIPB. Investment trend. There is a gradual shift in the way the construction of both residential and commercial property is being financed away from debt and towards equity. Traditionally, developers funded their construction costs by pre-selling houses to the buyers. Proofs and important links have been mentioned in the description below, but do not forget, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to ring the notification bell. We will see you in our next video. Bye bye.